This is, am I the astronaut for blowing up on my mother-in-law? Am I the asshole for blowing up at my mother-in-law about grandchildren? My husband and I are both 29 years old and got married last May. We have been together for 4 years now. My husband is an only child and I am the youngest of 3 siblings. My now mother-in-law brought up grandkids for the first time when my husband and I were dating only 6 months. I laughed it off at the time and felt just a little uncomfortable. Then she asked us a couple of weeks later if we wanted her to buy us a stroller for future use. I just thought it was weird and respectfully declined. Little did I know that this topic would come up a lot the next year and a half while we were still dating. She would ask, "When am I getting some grandbabies?" Or, "I'm sure you guys will give me grandchildren soon." My response was always the same: we have to be married first. I even asked my now husband to speak to his mom about these comments because they were making me uncomfortable. And honestly, it was getting very annoying since we were only dating at the time. I know I put up with it way longer than I should have, but I didn't want to upset anyone. He spoke to her and she got very offended because she has a right to know. He told her she does not, and it's not something that's okay to ask anymore. We got engaged, and during our engagement, the questions from her pretty much stopped. Instead, the questions came from her aunt and her best friend. I don't know if she asked them to ask or not. I wouldn't put it past her. We got married in May of 2022, not even a year yet, and my response to her questions only bit me in the ass because we were married now, so in her mind, where are the grandkids? The topic starts coming up again. I get that I'm her only chance for grandkids. I understand that, but it's my husband and I's decision on when it happens. I told her this and that we planned to just be married for a while and enjoy the time just us. It was going okay with a few comments here and there until recently it just got out of hand. We had them over for a visit and I purposefully was drinking alcohol to avoid any questions. I made it known that I was drinking too. It was a couple hours into our visit when she started in on questions and demanding answers. "When am I getting grandkids? Are you trying? When are you going to start?" I was so mad I didn't even answer her. When I didn't answer, she asked if I'm already pregnant. I point to the alcohol in my hand and I ask her if it looks like I'm pregnant. She replied with, "Well, I'm getting tired of waiting," and I just lost it on her. When I was done, I left the room and wouldn't come back until she left. My husband was outside during all of this and saw his mom leave angrily and upset. She wouldn't talk to him, and after she left, he came in to find me in hysterics. He was beyond mad at his mother and hasn't talked to her since then. He apologized to me for his mother and agreed with me that she needs to know to stop. I thought it was universally known not to ask women these questions, but apparently not. We haven't heard from her and he hasn't talked to her either. Am I the asshole for calling her out and blowing up on her? Should I be more sensitive to her, seeing as I'm her one and only chance for grandkids? I think we're all in agreement here. We can go straight to NTA because it's something that happened so flippin' many times. It's not something that happened one time and like she just exploded. This was something that she responded to civilly once, and then it happened 1,000 more times. It's like, for those of you who have kids, it's like when you have a kid who's in that age where they know not to ask you the same question over and over again, but they do it anyway. Eventually, like your F's to give about maintaining your cool just eventually get chipped away. And they just disappear. And eventually you're just like, dude, I've answered this question 30 times already. Do not ask it again. When it's a mother-in-law, it's a little bit different because you have to at least try to keep your cool longer. But this happened so many times over a period of time. In the one little lull where she didn't ask any questions, she had other people asking them for her. So it's like she didn't even try. Didn't even try to stop or to respect the boundary at all. She just tried to work around it. And then as soon as you were married, it was like, oh, well, this is a brand new situation. I get to ask questions again and just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. What did she think was going to happen? Was she going to annoy you into getting pregnant? I don't think that's how it works. Yeah, there are some obvious boundary issues, and you are in no way, shape, or form an asshole for creating that boundary and reinforcing that boundary. She knew that there was going to be some kind of consequence. Whenever you created the boundary in the first place, you conveyed that this was none of her business in the first place.